Hello and welcome back to Nintendo Weekly News, where your time being productive on the internet is in another castle. Starting things off is the obligatory Pokémon Bank announcement, because people constantly fill my inboxes thinking I have some special powers or connections from Nintendo. I don't, just a regular guy like you guys, and I'm just as in the dark as you guys are. But I do go off official news, and we finally do have some official news. What is that, you might ask? News that we will maybe get more news in the future. According to Nintendo of America's official Twitter account, more information regarding Pokémon Bank's release date will be released in the future. Honestly, I have no idea what this means. I'm just reporting on this each week because you guys continually ask me to. I really hope this thing doesn't get delayed more than a month in the future. It's just kind of sad to see Nintendo drop the ball with all their networking problems. I have no idea what's going to happen with the Celebi event or the free month that you were supposed to have coming up to the new year. I guess all we can do is cross our fingers and hope that it fixes itself. For some positive news, the Awesome Games Done Quick charity event was a huge success, raising more than $1 million toward charity, which is absolutely awesome. The whole event was a live stream, just featuring players that are really good at speedrunning games, and they did just that, speedran games. But in my opinion, by far the highlight of the event was this awesome 4-player Metroid off that they had, Super Metroid, 4 of the game's best speedrunners all playing against each other at the same time, side by side, and instead of trying to talk and play at the same time, which, as any gamer who has tried Let's Playing before knows, can be really hard and make you really bad at the game, they actually had 2 commentators talk while all 4 of them played at the same time. It was really, really cool. I've never really experienced anything like it. The finish was really, really close, and altogether it was just awesome to see such an exciting event while also having such an awesome impact on the world. Just helping people by being really good at video games. I know esports is a huge thing now with League of Legends and Defense of the Ancients and things like that, but honestly, just watching these guys compete side by side while just trying to have their best individual accomplishments was one of the coolest things I've ever seen in terms of competitive video gaming. I would definitely like to see more side-by-side speedrunning happen again, and I would gladly donate to charity for that cause. Check the video out, it's awesome. And speaking of speedrunning old Nintendo games, YouTube user IndexTick has discovered a new glitch in Majora's Mask. With this glitch, you can actually transport to owl statues that you have not hit yet, allowing you to warp way further in the game, skipping some crucial things that cause you to use up a lot of your resources, bombs, and time. And altogether, this glitch is just a doozy. In general, it's just crazy that games over a decade old are still finding new glitches today by people examining the data and just simply messing around. Speedrunning is really cool, and I'm really interested to see how this glitch changes the world record time for Majora's Mask. And for a final bit of positive news before I crush everyone's soul at the end of this video, Kirby Triple Deluxe has been a huge hit in Japan. It's been selling extremely well over there, been getting great reviews, and overall, just watching it, it makes me jealous. It still has just a hovering 2014 release date for all English-speaking territories, and as a lover of Kirby, I want this game now. Please? My life sucks without you, Kirby. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. And now for the bad news. Nintendo has just released that they did not get anywhere close to this year's projections for the Wii U or the 3DS. They projected the Wii U to sell 9 million units over this year, and have just recently scaled that back to 2.8 million units, almost a 70% cut. The 3DS, while selling well, still didn't meet their lofty expectations of 18 million units, scaling that back to 13.5. The resulting events, which many are referring to as a Nintendo apocalypse, have had critics and business investors going all over the map with very harsh opinions. Many are after Iwata's head, saying that he needs to leave, Nintendo needs to restructure, and they need to change everything, while some people are still defending Iwata, saying that he should stay and that failure can actually promote success out of a company. Nintendo's president has accepted a lot of these failures as his own, and has already taken a looking toward new ways to restructure Nintendo and find ways to bring in increasing revenue in the future. Iwata has been cited saying that Nintendo does need to restructure its business model, looking at things like the smartphone model of selling smaller games and possibly getting more sales on a larger platform that several people use. Iwata has been quoted saying that given the expansion of smart devices, we are naturally studying how smart devices can be used to grow the game player business. It's not as simple as enabling Mario to move on a smartphone. We cannot continue to be in business without winning. Now, I'm not saying smartphone gaming is the way of the future, but it cannot be ignored. It makes a ton of money. For one, there are just simple, easy platforms like iOS and Android that almost everyone has. Most people do have a smartphone once they reach the age where they can make their own purchasing decisions, and it is very easy to buy games at a cheap cost when you can simply play them on the same thing that you use to surf the web, email your friends, and send texts. This is a long rant that I'm sure I could have another time with more details, but it is just interesting to note that the cost of video games and buying video games on the consumer level continually goes up, much past the threshold that inflation is rising against it. So, video games are more expensive to make, and a lot of people are turning to a system that they already have, smartphone to buy games. But if any company can dig themselves out of this and create a system that is solely there to support video games and none of the extra social networking nonsense features, I definitely depend on Nintendo to do it. Until then, I'm still really happy with the 3DS. I'd love to see more good games on the Wii U, and it is just kind of sad in general to see Nintendo missing their sales mark by so much. That's it for today's Nintendo Weekly News, but as always, you can click this button right here to subscribe to my channel and learn when each new news video is coming out, right as it releases. I do have one question from you guys, however. You guys seem really heated about Mega Man. A lot of people believe that Mega Man is not a Nintendo character, and he needs to be axed from the lineup immediately. So I'm asking you guys, what do you think? I put him up here because I feel like a lot of the original Mega Man games came out on the Nintendo and Super Nintendo, and also he's a fighter on Super Smash Bros. Almost said Brawl. It's not Brawl, it's just Super Smash Bros. 2014. So what do you guys think? Mega Man, yay or nay? If nay, I'll probably put like Donkey Kong or Diddy Kong there. If yay, I'm gonna sit him right back here, and I'm gonna laugh each time you guys complain. You decide.